Okay, this year, as you guys probably already know, all of our events for the most part will be on Zoom unless the university and everything is able to clear up and we're able to be on campus. But some of the things we have planned are physician panels, which our second general meeting this quarter will be a physician, PA, and nurse panel. Alumni Q&As. We're going to have AMSA Day, and mentorship programs are still an option even though we're on Zoom, and we'll still have plenty of volunteer opportunities for everybody.
All right, so community service. We currently have a lot of in-person and virtual CS opportunities planned. We also had a few over the summer. One of those was, so Austin and I, we put together this partnership with Vitalent, and Vitalent is a blood drive organization, and they host blood drives all over the country. And what happened with the whole COVID situation was that tons of blood drives were getting canceled, but thankfully the one in Davis got approval. So we were able to get our AMSA members priority to sign up as volunteers because the volunteer slots usually fill up pretty quickly. And they were able to get firsthand experience into the importance of blood donations and managing the blood donors. So some important things to note is that, so what we've been hearing from a lot of our members recently is that a lot of the pre-med like volunteering and other opportunities have been getting canceled because a lot of them involve like being in person in like hospitals and other things. So this is one of the few like very pre-med oriented opportunities that we have going on right now. So it will be first come, first serve. But we, again, just reiterating that AMSA members get priority to sign up to volunteer for Vitalent. And we were able to raise about 58 pints in the August blood drive, and 1 pint can save up to 3 lives. So we were able to successfully transform about 174 patients' lives through this single blood drive. And we had about 8 AMSA members volunteer at this blood drive. And we expect a lot more like higher turnout in the future. So in the summer, like there were, you know, the wildfires going on and the pandemic. So we expect that during the school year that more people will be on campus, and we're expecting more volunteers and about like double the amount of donations that we got. And yeah, we're going to be aiming for 2 more drives this fall. The first one for the fall is going to be, I believe, on October 13th. And we'll be updating y'all on the signups and information about the blood drive as we get closer and closer to the blood drive. So if you're interested, just make sure you sign up to be an AMSA member and just keep an eye out for that email. And as always, you can shoot me an email or contact me if you have any questions related to community service.
Yeah, and someone put in the chat how you would sign up for it. So we have forms that we promote through our newsletters for you all to sign up through. So at the end of meeting, we're gonna have a sign-in sheet, and if you all can put in, make sure you have your name, last name, and like email, and that's how we will contact you with pre-newsletters and post-newsletters about like all the opportunities we have.
Okay, so kind of continuing off what Prisha was talking about, so some in-person opportunities for those of you guys that are still in Davis or like the Sacramento area, wherever you guys are living, there's just like a lot of great opportunities that you guys can actually go volunteer at so that you can help kind of give back to the community, especially due to COVID. There's been a lot more need for volunteers. A lot of these facilities do have hand sanitizing stations. They are practicing social distancing, and they are just trying to do their best to try to help give back to those that really need support during these times, like the homeless and those that are struggling to put food on the table. So some opportunities that I just kind of wanted to highlight for you guys is the YOLO Food Bank. YOLO Food Bank is basically, if for those of you that are from Southern California, you might know about Second Harvest Food Bank. YOLO Food Bank is basically very similar in that approach, where they try to help provide meals to the homeless, and they also help provide food towards shelters. So, and also for all these different groups that I'm talking about right now, for the post-meeting email that we'll send out, I can provide you guys with links for all of those so that you guys can sign up and go volunteer for those individually. Or if you guys want to take like a group of your friends, that'd be a little better just because, doing community service with others is always a lot more fun. So we got YOLO Food Bank, and then we also have the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals, which is the SPCA. They do a lot of work where they actually need a lot of volunteers to come help out with like feeding the animals. And then whenever they're having their basically events where they're trying to help adopt animals, they always need people just to help supervise the animals and then introduce them to people. So if you're really like animals, it's a great opportunity to go help out there. And then we also have one that's very local to Davis, which is Grace Gardens. And it's run by two really nice people. They're called Gwen and Sid. And it basically gives an opportunity where if you like gardening and also helping out those less fortunate, you can go into Grace Gardens, help out, plant some vegetables, pick some vegetables, and just have a good time. And then the last one is going to be the Davis Community Meals and Housing. Currently, because of COVID, their kind of timings and everything are a little wonky to say the least, but I'll provide you guys with as much information as I can on when they're hosting out their next events and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for now.
All right, so just in case you aren't in Davis or you aren't near the area, I have some virtual opportunities for you. So the first one is called Rapid Rona, and this is a company that helps connect underutilized labs with patients that need their COVID-19 tests run. In order to help them out, you'll be making calls to underutilized labs and helping them connect. And in order to volunteer, you would have to attend an orientation session, and then after that, you'd get started on your calls. For every 10 calls you make at a time, their CEO will sign off on 1 hour of volunteer work. For more information, you can go to the link that's on the slide. And if you have questions, you can email them at internships@rapidrona.com. All this information will be in the newsletter later. The second opportunity is the Good Neighbor COVID response. Their primary focus is setting up hospitals with meal donations from local restaurants through Meal Train. So they're looking for people to call local restaurants or contact them on social media, asking if they would be willing to donate to local hospitals. To help out there, you would go to auccovidresponse.org and sign up there. The last one is if you have more of an interest working with kids during this time, instead of like calling hospitals or restaurants or something like that, the last one is COVID childcare. It's super straightforward. Basically, you just sign up to do online tutoring on Zoom for kids, and the link for that is covidchildcare.org.
Okay, so many of you might be wondering, what can you gain from pre-med AMSA as a student? Well, as we mentioned, the community service opportunities, that is one aspect that we're hoping to give to pre-med students looking for experiences and also potential hours so that they can have more experience into becoming a pre-med student. We also want to make sure that as pre-med AMSA, we're not actually selective on just pre-meds only. As Austin said, we can also allow pre-health students, pre-PAs, pre-nursing, pre-optometry. As long as you know what a pre-med or pre-health student is, you pretty much qualify for pre-med AMSA. Our goal is that we can create a community where you can find a bunch of people aligned with the same mission, the same interests, and give you those first few steps into understanding what being a pre-med or just a pre-health student really is like. As many of you know, there's burnout, competition, a lot of stressful things can occur, and it makes you question whether or not you're capable of being in health or medicine. But we want to make sure that you are assuring of yourself and that we can provide a safeguard or just a safe haven, particularly where pre-med AMSA can be a potential place where you can find a family you can be with, and also a place where you can start finding experiences and potential opportunities in the future for you. And for multiple opportunities with physicians, med students, and professionals, we actually conduct some outreach and also connections with special events for people in UC Davis School of Medicine and with the help of health professions advising, as you can see in the bottom of the slide. And we work closely with our professionals to make sure that they can come to our meetings and also give you advice, possible shadowing opportunities, or maybe something that you can benefit from, which we want to offer for pre-med AMSA. And as our community service board has mentioned, we have chances to volunteer and we allow priority registration for you with our partnership organizations like Vitalent in case you are trying to get into a certain group or organization, but you're wondering what the process will be like, we're there to guide you and to make sure you get in there first in the line. Last, we also want to offer you some access to our resources. We are creating a Google Drive system and also a database so you can have class materials like how to prep you for the BIS2 series, Chem2 series, Phi 7 series, classes that we have taken as students as well at UC Davis. And publicity and outreach, me and Taylor are actually thinking of creating a new project called our research database, where we help keep track of professors conducting research or laboratory research, so we can help you guys find those experiences that you're interested in, like perhaps you want to do research in pediatrics or emergency medicine, a specific field you want. We plan on creating a database where you can find professors you are interested in, and also to see if you can apply and also see if there's a position where you can get that experience that you really want to be interested in. We also provide former application resume materials that help you get those first steps in understanding how to build your resume, CV, kind of like how ICC does it. I want to make sure that you can get those opportunities, like get that interview for MRAP or get that interview for Gomes Lab. And we want to make sure that we can offer as much support as a family and a community for you so that you can help get into those first experiences and be sure that you can take the first few steps as a pre-med and also gain those necessary experiences to build your future.
Yeah,
So
so
just real
sorry.
quick, sorry, someone asked what MRAP is.
Mhm.
So it's like the Emergency Medicine Research Associate Program, I think. But basically what we do is we were in the ER or ED at UC Davis Medical Center. And we help enroll like a lot of the patients in the ED into specific clinical studies. So during our shifts, like we're very engaged and we get to like do rounds, like go through like the patient wards and visit the patients. And we also like build a relationship with the doctors and nurse staff there because we have to interact with them and, you know, discuss patient information with them often. And basically we just evaluate the patients and we do our best to enroll them in clinical trials. And we learn a lot about the various studies that MRAP is running right now or is a part of. And each study has like different like inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria, which are basically the standards that we use to either enroll a patient in a study or just completely like not even like examine them for a study. But yeah, it's a really great program. And if I think they're not accepting applications for fall, but if they do open it up in the future, then we'll let y'all know as soon as possible. It's just closed right now because they can't like distribute PPE to all of the MRAP interns who are in there. So they aren't accepting new people at this time.
Thanks,
The
Prisha.
fun
And then,
fact that Prisha and I are actually part of MRAP, and I also post updates about our application. So if you're interested, I can actually rally the application cycle information into AMSA here, or you can also contact us. And I can tell you that we are planning on having an application in the winter for MRAP.
Dan, can you go back to the last slide? I just want to talk a little bit about the events we also had last year. So some of the events we had last year, as you can see here, Anthony was the person who gave us a little shout out. He basically had a really cool event where he came and did a little Q&A about his whole experience at Davis during his 5 years here and what like extracurriculars he did, like what things he found really beneficial at Davis. And now he's starting his like fall class at UCSF School of Medicine. So that was really cool. And the bottom picture is just basically we had MS1s and MS2s from Davis School of Medicine come and do a panel where they talked about what they did during their undergrads, as well as what kind of like unique extracurriculars that they feel are important. Yeah, so that's like some stuff that we're also looking to make for you all this year. And that would just be like through a Zoom setting.
Great. So what you do as a member? So attendance. So first of all, it's like super important that you be present and you're engaged and you participate in the events. because we design and organize these events specifically tailored like for you all, for your interests and for your goals. And that's why we interact and we have a lot of discussions with y'all before we plan these events. And commitment, there is none, because AMSA is what you make of it. For example, like I don't know if it was mentioned earlier, like we've had medical students like Anthony come in and just share their journey from high school, undergrad, all the way to medical school. And we also have a very good like a relationship and network with UC Davis School of Medicine. So we've also had like a bunch of medical students from UC Davis School of Medicine just come in and just sit down and have like a panel where, you know, they share their journey, and they also have like a large Q&A session. And so experiences like that like can be found when you show up to the AMSA events and AMSA meetings. So like for that reason, AMSA is really like what you make of it. So if you want to get a lot out of AMSA, then just really like show up to our meetings and show up to our events. And volunteering and community service, we offer many opportunities for our members, as you all have seen in this presentation. Vitalent Blood Drive is just one of our many opportunities, but it is one of our primary ones because it's tailored to the pre-med, pre-health community. Yeah, so we have, even if some of you all are not totally like into, if you're not completely set on pre-med, we also have like some volunteer opportunities where you can kind of explore med related stuff, and you can kind of get a feel for whether it is really for you. And we also have just some general community service opportunities like what Arsha mentioned earlier, like the food bank, Yolo County and Davis, the housing meals, and other opportunities like that. So as always, we'll be including a more detailed version of like these volunteering opportunities and other information in our newsletter. So keep an eye out for that. And as always, you can contact us if you still need clarification on any of the information.
So for the mentorship program, we have the link for the form that you have to fill out. If you're interested, you can just save this link for later. But we basically connect mentors and mentees in our club, and we try to connect people with similar majors and similar future professional aspirations. So as people said before, our club isn't just pre-med, it's pre-health. So if you're interested in PA or pre-med or pre-nursing or some other field, we'll try to connect you with someone who's more experienced in that aspect. And last year, 44 people filled out the form. So hopefully this year we can get the same amount of members. And you also get mentorship points. You also get membership points for participating in the mentorship program and the events that we have. And last year we had a Boba Social, and we worked with fundraising to have an event after a club meeting. So if you have any ideas for socials or anything like that, feel free to contact us and we can try to set that up together.
Okay, so I just want to note really quickly, I actually sent that link in the chat that Julia was talking about. So if anybody wants to like just have it, because I know it can sometimes be hard to like write it down while listening, it's now in the chat. But then moving on to another aspect of the membership in AMSA, something that we do is the point system. So the reason why we have a point system is because it helps us track member participation. And you can gain points by going to general meetings, which there's 3 general meetings per quarter. So that would be 3 points if you went to all of them. You get 1 point for community service events, 1 point for fundraising events. And then if you go to membership, mentorship events, you also get a point. And if you miss an event, it's not a super big deal, don't freak out. You can make it up by attending other events throughout the quarter. And at the very end, the top members with the most points will receive a prize. And something else that we also wanted to note is that if by the end of the year you have 10 points, you can get a little AMSA certificate, and you can hang it, do whatever you want with that certificate. It's a fun little thing of, hey, you participated. Something we do want to note is you must obtain a minimum of 2 membership points per quarter. And so just so then you're not like trying to cram it all in at the very end. But yeah.
Okay, so how to join. Membership fee is $25. This counts for the whole year, so the earlier you join, the more benefits you get pretty much out of it. And you can Venmo to me at Rishon-Alec, or in cash if we ever have like in-person meetings, if that ever happens. You get a free t-shirt, as you can see. It's a pretty cool t-shirt. It was designed by Ethan. Our contact information, so like more like our socials and stuff on Facebook, our Instagram, and our email. You can always like ask questions if you have any questions about like membership, like whether you have like if you paid me, or like any other membership like payment related questions. You can always email me about that. And our link to join is on the screen, but I think it's also on the website, and I might link it later in the chat for those who want to join right away.
Also, if anyone is currently in Davis and you become a paid member and you want a shirt, I can also deliver it to you if you're in Davis. Only in Davis. Okay.
Oh yes, one of our students asked if they don't have Venmo, and what do they do?
I might, okay, if you don't have Venmo, maybe you can email me. We can find something out what to do. We can come up with a possibility to arrange funds, yeah, that way. But you just email me and we can figure something out. I'll link my email in the chat too. You can go to the next slide. Oh yeah, okay. And the benefits of being a paid member, we've talked about this before. You get to gain access to our mentorship program, free AMSA t-shirt, you get to get a Kaplan discount, and we're gonna have someone from Kaplan talk about the benefits you get with Kaplan as being a pre-med AMSA member. You get rides to field trips, so hopefully when we most likely will have like, hopefully next year if we have like more in-person events like field trips to med schools or like other events, we can arrange rides, so you don't have to worry about arranging transportation. The point system, once again, we talked about that. You get to gain access to like the point system, and you can gain a prize at the end of the year if whoever has the highest amount of points. So yeah, and then at the end of the year, you get to attend the AMSA banquet. Hopefully, again, if we have a normal year next year, that'll happen in spring quarter sometime, so we can get to see your pretty faces in person. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, and one of the students asked if we have a particular time schedule for meetings yet this fall, like a day and time yet.
So we don't have like a set time meeting yet for like every general meeting. However, we are giving you all the plan for the next general meeting. So that's the next slide.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go over the next general meeting. So for general meeting 2, we're gonna do a health professional panel. So it's gonna be the weekend of October 10th through 11th. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a wide range of healthcare professionals. So we have signed up currently, we have an internal medicine physician, an ENT and DDS, an ophthalmologist, an OBGYN, pediatrics, an orthopedic surgeon, CRNA, a general surgeon, physician's assistant, and dermatologist. So if any of that interests you and you really want to
cut out a little. Was it just me? Wait, was it just
cut out?
Oh. Wait, someone tell me if it was just me. Haha. Okay,
well,
I don't think you cut out. I think it was just my internet.
Okay, well, it was just a wide range of healthcare professionals that'll be coming into a Zoom meeting at certain times during the day, and we'll let you guys know of which time slot each person's going to be at, and just look out for that time schedule for each professional. And it should be pretty cool if you want to get to talk to these people that are in the career path that you want to go into. And yeah, so just look out for that. It should be really fun, and it'll be really informative, and they'll talk about like their journey to med school, what made them want to do what they want to do, what their day in the life of working in their field is. So yeah, should be good.
Yeah, and to add on to that, like as long as you attend like one of the time blocks, you would get a membership point for it. And basically like a lot of these professionals are giving like their time obviously to talk about like and answer any questions that you all may have. So it'll be really cool to get a cool like interest form out there. And if you do sign up to attend one of their time blocks, please like make sure that you're available. So that's basically our overall general meeting, and we're gonna have the sign-in sheet. I think Prisha already has it there. So just make sure you sign in with your email so that we can give you any updates. Also, another like social media form, Facebook and Instagram, we update the most. So that's how you will also know about like everything going on if you follow our Instagram and our Facebook. Is it on there, Tan, anywhere? Our Instagram or?
Actually, no.
Oh, you can add it. Yeah, he'll add it. And then now we're just gonna have like a Kaplan representative come. This part isn't mandatory, but if you would like to stay to learn about like how being an AMSA member relates to like the Kaplan like brand, then please stay. I'm gonna make sure
So
our
Austin, real quick, can I just talk about the sign-in sheet?
yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna comment in the chat the sign-in sheet again, but basically I've added a column for you to list what organizations you're interested in, so that if if we receive updates, we can email those out to you. So even if you already signed in on that sheet, please go ahead and go back to it and add what organizations like from today that you heard that maybe you're more like curious about or you want more information about.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions before our Kaplan rep talks? Feel free. It's open to the questions. If you don't, yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to just like ask us, but also like you can always message our contacts and we will respond to you all as well. And feel free to like reach out to us individually too. Yeah.
All right, with that in mind, we're going to
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Just a quick question. So if we sign up today, does this count towards us having attended? Yeah, right, because of the sheet.
Yes, it will. So if you sign up today, then this will count as your like first like membership point if this is the first like event that you've attended. And then basically we just say like the membership fee is for the entire school year. So for those who like become a member like winter or like spring, that just means you lost like 2 quarters or 1 quarters of like events that you could have done. Yeah.
I also wanted to jump in really quick because there was a question in the chat about all the different links that have been sent because there's been a lot. There are 3 like different links in total that are in the chat. There's one for the sign up, which is just showing that you came to today's meeting. There's the signing up for membership Google Doc form. And there's also the mentorship Google Doc form. So you can like choose what you want to actually fill in for. The sign up, if you came to today's meeting, you should put your stuff down for that one. And it also gives us the email, so then you can get the newsletters. And then the other 2 are in there as well. Just wanted to clarify because there have been a lot of links.
Yeah, and then another clarification is basically all of our events are open to all of you. Like you don't have to be a paid member to attend any of our events, but you just have to be a paid member to be able to get those membership points and those like priority registrations for certain events. Because we prioritize like paid members first, but then at the end of the day, like we are an open club and anyone can go to any of our meetings and panels for free. And also we keep track of our membership points through our mentorship team. The board will have a list. And so you can always contact them and message like AMSA through our contacts if you want to know where you're at with your mentorship points. And we will ask for like a way for you to like provide like evidence for like fundraising. If you go to a fundraising event, we might just be like, oh, like send a picture of you at the event or like you purchasing like a delivery. Like that's how we do it for fundraising. For community service, we usually have a sign up sheet already. So that's how we will know like if you attend an event. And then for general meetings, we have the sign-in sheets at the end of general meetings, as well as a record of like who attends the general meetings.
Okay, if there aren't any more questions, I will stop the recording. Is everyone cool with that? Okay, we'll end the recording right now.